Now, there has been a fresh attack in another community in Ebonyi State. The attack is coming hours after the governors in the southeast announced the formation of a joint security outfit. Fatalities are being reported, but the number is yet to be ascertained. It's also not clear who the attackers were. While some claim it was a communal crisis, some others say it was carried out by herdsmen. The state government has released a statement saying it wasn't herdsmen that carried out the attack. The police say they're still investigating the matter.
Meanwhile, the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodimma, says recent attacks in the southeast constitute the worst challenge faced by the Igbos since the Civil War. And speaking at the Southeast Security Summit, Uzodimma says the region is confronted by a hydra-headed monster that must be tamed urgently. He says several misconceptions have been reported to explain these attacks, including a breaking away of the region from Nigeria. The governor is asking security agencies in the zone to work together through intelligence gathering and sharing.
Now, for more on security in the southeast and an update on government activities in the state, we cross live now to Umuahia, where the Abia State Governor, Okezie Ikpeazu, joins us now. It's good to have you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for giving us your time. Now, I'll go straight to the matter. Some have said regarding Ebubagu, the announcement of this joint security outfit, that even though it's a welcome development, it's like it's a bit late to the party. Why has it taken so long for the Southeast governors to come to this consensus?
No, this is just season 2 of an initiative that commenced so many months ago. You recall that sometime in the past, we announced in a joint meeting at Enugu the inauguration of a security committee headed by retired General Umahi, drawing membership from security officers nominated by the various governors in the region. And that committee has been working, and they came up with a recommendation that every state in the South should set up a vigilante group. That is why in Abia, we have what we call the Homeland Security Outfit, which we set up so many months ago. We have inaugurated them, and we have given them uniforms, and we have deployed them. The Commissioner of Police is aware, the IGP, then IGP is also aware. And then in Enugu, I'm sure they call theirs forest guards. So all the, and I think in Anambra, they call it Bochapo or something. So every state in the South, it has one kind of vigilante group or the other. So this is not new. I am miffed by the reports I get that people think that we are responding late. No, but what we have just done with the Ebubagu is to integrate the activities of these various vigilante groups from the various states, to have a central command that will help us drive intelligence gathering, help us drive information sharing, and help us drive digitalization of policing. Because in terms of land area, the Southeast is not very vast, and we have very porous borders and relationships between one another. We intermarry a lot. So it will be difficult for us to pollute the air in one state and expect that the other state will not be equally polluted because it's in the air. Therefore, we want everybody to synergize and come to a convergence in terms of intelligence gathering, in terms of operation, in terms of logistic support for one state and another. So this is what it is. It's not that we are starting now. We have had some form of security outfit in our various states, but the time for us to act together is now.
How important would you say are these vigilante groups? And from what you said, you haven't just started now. And it's not just in your state, in so many other states as well, they use vigilante groups. But how important would you say these vigilante groups are in fighting insecurity in the state and in the region and even in the nation at large?
They are very, very, very important. You know that the basic ingredient in every security strategy is the groundswell or mobilization of the public, because you need the public to be part of your security architecture, to give you support, to give you cooperation, to provide vital information about movement and tracks of criminals. The uniformed officers or those we know as law enforcement officers cannot do it all by themselves. That is why it is important to recruit gatekeepers from the various communities and put them in charge of the track roads, bush tracks, and get them to monitor and police what is happening in the various forests within their domain. But we have always at all times tried to, draw some support and strength and synergy from the Nigerian police and the Nigerian army and all of that. But going forward now, we want to stamp our authority a little deeper to make sure that we can begin to help ourselves until reinforcement or help comes. We just cannot tie our hands and sit by and watch things go adrift.
Okay, I know you said that you haven't just started today, but I want to get your insight into whether the recent occurrences that happened in the Southeast, I'm referring to the fact that you called for a curfew on Monday, and then there was information that came to the press that you had found or there were suspicions of an explosive device at the Union Primary School, Afaruku, in Umuahia, and that led to your saying that you were drawing on some intelligence. So would you say that some of those developments, not to mention the ones in Imo State as well, the events in Imo State, led to or jump-started this development of Ibubagu?
You are not far from the truth. We are responding to the exigencies of the moment. We tried in some way to be a little bit laid back in terms of our response in trying to see how best we can, navigate through the issues. But we have seen some spike in this insecurity situation in our region, and we decided to respond with Bago, and that is why. So it's not far from it. But if we had not recruited vigilant, sharp eyes, we wouldn't have been able to identify the suspected explosive, quote unquote, where they were. So that we were able to identify it before it did any harm speaks to the fact that our people are becoming more conscious. Our people are becoming more alive to their responsibility. And I want to seize this opportunity to tell everybody that this thing, security, is about everybody. It is not, if the rain falls, it won't fall on one roof. And we want everybody to open their eyes and their ears and then use their telephones. We have in Abia.
Governor, we'll just hold your thought there. Security is about everybody. We'll come back to you after this break. Do stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching Newsday, and we'll carry on the conversation with the Governor of Abia State, Okezie Ikpeazu. It's good to have you. Thank you for staying with us. I just wanted to add on to the question you responded to and to ask, do you believe then that the nature of the beast has morphed? Because a lot of people were shocked when they heard of explosive devices in schools, and they were also equally shocked when they heard of prisoners being broken out, which sort of threw back attention to a Boko Haram kind of copycat incident where they broke out prisoners. Do you feel that the nature of the insurgency in the Southeast has morphed and that therefore warrants a different response?
Yes, because we are not predicating our response on the suspected device found in one school at Umuahia here, because, like I said, these are early days. Preliminary investigation suggests that that device it seems very rusty and doesn't seem to us to be something that was placed there in the last 3, 4, 5 years. But be that as it may, we are not taking anything for granted. Some people are of the opinion that they could be relics of the Civil War and all of that, because that school is very close to the War Museum. I don't want to jump to conclusions until the professionals that are looking at it come up with something that is reliable. Having said that, we have noticed the attacks against police, military, and security formations in Abia and other states around the Southeast. We have also noticed what happened in Imo, and naturally, it calls for a change in strategy. And that is why we are responding with the Ibubago. And I want to say to people that the bulk of the activity of Ibubago will be intelligence gathering, whereas they'll be ready also and prepared to defend their positions and their locations and arrest and apprehend criminals when we see them. Their major mandate is to ensure that anybody that has constituted himself enemy of our people here in the Southeast will not be allowed to have a field day. And the government will do everything to support them to achieve that mandate. So we are interested in identifying who and how the security challenges that is now prevalent in the Southeast, who is perpetrating it and how are they doing it. We will study these patterns and we will come up with strategies that will hold them at bay.
Right. So still on Ikpeazu, one of the things that you said about them is that they've been set up basically for intelligence gathering. What about in terms of the personnel, especially how are they going to relate to the Eastern Security Network, their personnel?
Speak for Ikpeazu, and I cannot speak for the Eastern Security Network. I have taken time to negotiate the mandate of Ikpeazu and the kind of support that we intend to give to them. I do not know who will speak for Eastern Security Network, but my interest and the interest of the governors of the Southeast is to ensure that we ward off any individual or group of persons that have decided to constitute themselves into enemies of our people. They will not be allowed to operate in the Southeast.
Okay. And in terms of framework and whether legal framework or even funding, could you speak more to this? Because some have said that this might be where the pitfalls arise, whether it's to do with the legal framework that we saw with Amotekun, they had to sort of work backwards, or it's to do with the funding. Please go ahead, sir.
Already, the various houses of assembly have done the needful. Those that haven't done are doing the needful. And we don't expect any legal framework to be an impediment. Our battle, our fight to secure our place has become existential. And in that regard, every other thing is secondary. We will advance whatever is necessary to ensure that we protect life and property in the Southeast. And in doing that, we expect everything to fall in place. Nobody will expect us to tie our hands. We will not allow that to happen here. That will give a semblance of a scenario where people will be allowed to resort to self-help, or non-state actors will take a front burner. This is the time for us to rise to the occasion and do the needful, because we've been elected to protect lives and properties in this region.
Right. So still on that, I still want to understand more, just in case, just to get an idea of what has been earmarked in terms of cost once again. Because one of the things you said was that you've got the Homeland Security. You're also giving support to Ikpeazu. So in terms of fighting insecurity in your particular state, what has been earmarked in terms of cost and equipment and any other kind of support that you've offered to them? We would like to know what those details are.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, I'm going to fail you in that regard because it is also a security issue to or not to disclose the kind of funding we are prepared to lay on the table. But I want to say to you that as I speak today, the priority of the governors of the Southeast is protection of life and property. And therefore, no cost, no expense will be spared to make sure that we achieve this mandate. Because it takes a healthy and somebody who is alive to enjoy socio-economic development. Whereas we will continue to run our governments in such a way that we can provide basic needs in terms of road, hospitals, and schools. But we must also protect the schools and our children in those schools. We must protect investors. We must protect our people. We must make this place safe enough for our people to repatriate their investments if they so desire. We must make this place safe enough for other people to come and invest. We must protect everybody that is legitimate and is doing business within the confines of the Southeastern region. And whatever that is required to make this happen will be done.
Okay, yes, and some would agree, with the saying that says a stitch in time saves nine. But another view is that the elephant in the room needs to be addressed, which is IPOB. I know you mentioned that you will not let non-state actors take the front line. What is your policy or engagement towards IPOB with regards to this whole issue of security?
In any case, I have said this sometime earlier in the week, and my position is that, you see, equal right and justice is an inalienable right of citizens, and if through impunity or
do we still have you, Governor?
Carelessness or we allow people to begin to. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we are now.
Okay. So if we allow a group of people to begin to feel that they are not rightly treated or that not accepted within the polity, it creates a lacuna that makes organization, which is prerequisite when you talk, places itself in a position where people are no longer confident in the ability of that kind of government to protect them and take care of their interests within a polity.
Okay.
There is bound to be agitation one way or another. And some of these reactions may be extrapolated to levels that may undermine national security or cohesion or unity. But I have said that I have taken time to listen to some of the issues raised by IPOB, issues of injustice, issues of marginalization, issues of trust deficits within the polity called Nigeria as it concerns people from southeastern Nigeria. And I think that some of those facts and issues are valid issues. They should be addressed and spoken to. They should be addressed squarely so that everybody and those of us that are in government today can have a foothold within the Southeast region to continue to promote the unity of Nigeria. But if we at every turn of the, at every turn, we see things that even comments and statements and utterances that create scenarios that can foist tension, then we begin to wonder. Having said this, I do not subscribe to the strategy of IPOB in pursuing their goals. I do not subscribe to their strategy. And the reason why I don't subscribe to that strategy is that I am yet to see the end of the tunnel from where I am standing. And I do not like to take a plunge in the dark. So I would say to them that we must engage, we must hold conversations, we must discuss the issues which is bothering them and everybody. And we cannot continue to pretend as if these issues are not valid. In an attempt to do that, we may create a lacuna that will encourage non-insurgency in other parts of Nigeria as I speak. So this country should invest more resources towards nation building. Unity of this country should be paramount. That should be the primary focus of government now going forward.
Okay. Thank you so much for giving us time and just expounding on some of those issues, particularly around security in the Southeast. Thank you, sir.